Coach of the Year. Harold Harris tosses it up, and it's Norfolk State with Bryant with the ball in his hands right away.
As the Hornets open up in a 2-3 zone, they play a lot of zone because they're really long underneath with Sodom at 7'3", man in the middle.
Turning around Norfolk State. That's Chris Bankston, and we get a foul right off the bat.
Bankston's excellent offensive player, averaging right at 11 points, rebounds the ball strong. He's the nice inside-outside combination, Bryant and Bankston.
So Chris Saddam picking up the foul. He's a 7'3" junior center out of D.C., Beaumont Center High School at the free throw line. Right now is Chris Bankston. He's a senior out of Little Rock, Arkansas.
Chris Paul made the comment that he thought Bankston could make some money playing this game because of his skill level. If he just put on a few pounds, as you see Norfolk State right now, they're in a 2-2, 1-3/4 press. And there's a steal right there.
Bryant takes it in, puts it up, and one. Make it. There's Joe Bryant, the senior guard out of Lake Taylor High right here in Norfolk, Virginia. And the press is bothering him.
Right. And Norfolk is one of the top defensive teams in the country, holding teams to 37% field goal shooting. They're going to defend at a very high level. They drop back into a man-to-man.
And they also don't let you score a lot of points. They're holding teams to an average of 64 points a game.
Yep.
Down the lane, off the glass, too hard. Rebound pulled down by Dana Tate.
And Carter is going to have to get it going for the Hornets. He knows how to score.
A lot of contact.
Yeah, that was an ugly shot that time.
Yeah. So they because the shot was so ugly, they call it.
Right.
And there's the rebound by Martez Robinson. So we'd look at the starting lineups for Norfolk State. You got Jalen Hawkins, Joe Bryant, Tyrese Jenkins, Dana Tate, and Chris Bankston on the other side for Delaware State. You got Martez Robinson, John Stansbury, Chris Saddam, Miles Carter, and Zach Kent.
And that time, Stansbury was fouled on a three-point shot attempt. And I know Coach Robert Jones didn't like. That's just a letdown mentally. You just go straight up. You don't try to block the shot. If he makes it, that's just a big-time three. But now you have Stansbury at the free throw line shooting 3 shots.
And 4-0 is our score.
And for the year, he's shooting right at 61%.
Yeah, Stansbury, 10.7 points per contest and 3.7 rebounds. Like you said, 61% from the line. Here's a cousin named Terrence Stansbury, played at Temple, Indiana, in the NBA in Seattle.
Right. So he comes from a basketball family. Shot looks good. Nice stroke. Holds his follow through. You can tell he knows how to play this game. And again, Charlie, as we talked about, this team has played almost every one of their opponents very close for about 35 minutes.
And he hits 3 free throws and puts the Hornets on the board now. It's a 1-point ball game, 4-3 here at the Scope in Norfolk, Virginia. Quarterfinal action, Norfolk State, Delaware State. There you look at the starters, Hawkins, Bryant, Jenkins, Tate, and Bankston for Norfolk State. The starting 5. Bryant with the ball in his hands right now. Gets it over to Tyrese Jenkins. And now shot clock under 10. Shot is up. Back of the iron. Rebound by Martez Robinson. They're going to stay here.
And the Spartans get a break that time because Robinson had collected the rebound. They were off and running, and the official called a foul.
Zach Kent picked it up. He's a sophomore out of Magnolia, Delaware. Combo forward center. A little alley-oop. They just couldn't get it to go. And the big fella stands underneath there with that 7'3" wingspan that he had. Just made sure that's Saddam that nothing happened. He didn't smile into the ball. He just put his hands straight up.
He didn't even jump and block that shot.
When you're 7'3", you shouldn't have to, right? The runner in and out.
And that's Carter again. He's taking 2. I know he needs to get going, but he's still got to take good shots.
Bryant a little doing too much, and it's going to be Delaware State's ball.
And just what you said, Bryant doing too much, Robert Jones agrees. He got on Bryant that time for, over dribbling, trying to do a little bit too much and lost the ball.
So when you look at those teams and how things started off with Norfolk State, they started the season 5-0. They beat Bridgewater, Penn State, Wilkes-Barre, Tennessee State, William and Mary, and Bowling Green before losing a game. They lost to Xavier. But when they lost to Xavier, they didn't just lose. They lost by 40, 88-48.
But they did a good job in their non-conference schedule of going on the road and playing upper mid-major talent and winning some of those games. That gave them a winning record coming out of November and December. And a lot of times at the MEAC, you have a losing record because you're on the road so much playing guarantee games. They actually had a winning record coming out, and that's a kudos to this team and the coaching staff.
Yeah, because, of course, they played at UNCW. They beat them by 5 points, 74-69.
It's a big win.
Yeah. So they did lose to Hampton, which was, I'm sure, a heartbreaker for them. That's the Battle of the Bay. They lost by only a point.
That's a big-time rivalry game.
Yeah. Here's the shot, the 3 ball. Well, that's not a 3, that's a 2 ball. But more importantly, it was Zach Kent that put it down.
Nice inside-out action that last time as Robinson drove the lane and kicked it back out to Kent. He knocked it down, a little mid-range jump shot. Again, the Hornets are sticking with that 2-3 zone.
Kent shooting 32% from the field. Across the lane, back inside. Here's Hawkins, and he buries it. Jalen Hawkins, senior, out of the Bronx in New York.
As you see the 2-2-1 again by the Spartans. Just slowing the Hornets up, and then they drop back into man-to-man.
Jumped inside to Kent. Kent along the baseline, finds a man, but it's the opponent that he found.
Right.
That was Bryant. Bryant goes all the way, puts it up for 2.
Nice defense that time by Jalen Hawkins. He's off to a really good start, both on the offensive and defensive end.
We talked about what Norfolk State did starting the season. This Delaware State team, and there's a Sam Jones bank shot that time.
The bank is open.
Yeah, the bank was open that time for John Stansbury, sophomore out of Newcastle, Delaware. Speaking of Sam Jones, our dear friend passed away earlier this year, product of North Carolina College at the time when he went there. It's now North Carolina Central, and found out today from his son that they're going to have a memorial service for him down in Jacksonville, Florida on June 27th. They're on a 23-game losing streak coming into this tournament. But like I said, there were some games in which they were right in there.
There's a laser stroke that last time by Jenkins, who's a designated three-point shooter for the Spartans, shooting right at 33% is Jenkins. Knocked that one down. Shot looked really good. Stepped into it. Held his follow-through.
Had a chance to talk to the former Delaware State coach, Greg Jackson, who still lives up in the Dover area. And he was telling me, he said, give Coach Waterman a year or two, they're going to be a team to watch. He said, don't worry about the fact that they've only won 2 games this year. He said, let's think about the future.
Right. He's got a real good pipeline, from what I understand, in the state of Delaware because of the success he had in high school. Sure. And knows a lot of the AAU coaches in the state. As Jenkins just missed his second 3, that was a heat check that last time.
Carter, no good. Battle for the loose ball, and it comes down to the player of the year. And a foul is going to be whistled, and that'll send Dana Tate, the redshirt junior out of Siena High in Boston, Massachusetts, to the free throw line for 2.
As the first team all-conference player, Miles Carter, has yet to get going. He's a key offensively for the Hornets to stay in this ball game. He's been, kind of forcing the issue a little bit. Just needs to take his time, see that first one go in.
Young man at the free throw line, Dana Tate. He actually started his career in college at Rhode Island. Back in 2018, freshman year there, he averaged something like 4 points a game and 3 rebounds. Played 8 games as a sophomore, then transferred to Siena, and then sat out last year, didn't play. Scored double figures in 10 games for this Norfolk State team this year against Delaware State. In the 2 meetings, he had 3 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists in the first meeting, and 20 points and 2 rebounds in the second meeting.
And that's not unusual now in today's age to see a young person play at 2 or 3 different institutions.
I'll tell you, you can't keep up with them, right?
No, it's free agency in college basketball.
It certainly is. And that basket goes down for Dominique Fragala.
Good ball movement that time by the Hornets. Handled the pressure. Got hit in the middle. From the middle, they went to the wing. Fragala knocked it down.
Wide open. Is he going to walk? Travel, yes. Chris Bankston got caught up in there and couldn't get out of there.
And he walked because the big fella was the Minister of Defense that time, Chris Sodom.
So it'll be Balcom to inbound the ball for the Hornets. DeMarco out of St. Francis Academy in Washington, D.C. He has the ball in his hands now, gets it over to Carter. Fragala, baseline, pulls back. Under 10 seconds on the shot clock. All the way for 2.
Great read that time by Miles Carter. Let the lane open up, straight line drive, finished at the rim.
1 point ball game, 14-13. Under 13 minutes to go. We're in the first half. First game of our nightcap doubleheader. Pass inside, Bankston loses it. Here come the Hornets. They can take the lead. Carter traveled. Tried to do too much.
Got to put it down first, young fella.
Yes, indeed. Amtrak's not running tonight.
Not tonight.
You'll see it right here.
Yes, see.
Yeah, there.
Picked up that pitch.
20 feet.
Got to put it on the deck first. Again, the Hornets sticking with the 2-3 zone, making the Spartans use clock. Nice little mid-range jump shot that time by Jenkins. Usually he knocks that one down.
Martez Robinson swings it over to Fragala. Fragala being guarded by Hawkins. And Fragala puts up the 3. That's off the mark, and we got a foul. We're going to go the other way.
And that's the shot probably. Fragala probably should have moved the ball a little bit more. He took one dribble, didn't free himself, and then took a shot. And I know if I'm Coach Waterman, I want him to move the ball a little bit more. Show some patience.
So Ronald Lucas, a 6'6" guy, comes into the lineup. There he is. Lucas, a junior out of Baltimore, Maryland.
With the goggles.
And he replaces Saddam. So 6'6" for 7'3". You're giving up a lot, aren't you?
I tell you what, that zone may not be as effective.
Here we go. Fragala gets it back out. Carter. Balcom, baseline, backs it back out. A lot of time on the shot clock, but
he's controlling the tempo from an offensive standpoint. The Hornets are shooting 40% from the field and 66% from the three-point line. That's why it's a one-point ball game right now.
When these two teams played, it was a big lead, 80-51 Norfolk State win when they played down here in Norfolk on Norfolk State's campus. But when they played up in Dover, it was only a three-point game. 69-66 was the final, and Norfolk State won, and they lead it now by 3.
Strong rebound that last time by Chambers. Went and got it. Rebound out of his area. I love to see that from Biggs.
Underneath. And a block inside. Getting his hands in there was Tyrese Jenkins.
Jenkins showing that he can do more than shoot the basketball. Great defensive effort that last time by Tyrese Jenkins.
Chris Ings is in there. He missed some games this year because of injury.
Yes.
And he's driving inside. From way outside, we saw Hawkins misses the three, and we're going to go the other way.
Again, I'm sure Coach Waterman is very happy and pleased with how effective that 2-3 zone is right now, because the Spartans are really not being able to get that ball inside. They're forcing them to take the perimeter shots. Right now, the perimeter shots are not falling. They're only shooting 25% from the three-point line.
Darrell Anderson and Dana Tate check into the Norfolk State lineup. 10:40 the time remaining in the first half. 3-point ball game. And there's a three ball that falls down for DeMarco Baucom, the junior out of St. Francis Academy in the nation's capital. And it's all tied at 16 apiece.
Good ball movement by the Hornets. Got Baucom freed up right at the top of the circle, knocked it down.
But at the other end, another three goes down, and this is Chris Ings.
Big time answer that time by Ings.
Out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ings, first year at Norfolk State, started 20 at Ryder last season, averaged 7.7 points per game. Played at Ryder for a couple of years. As we get a couple of substitutions into the Delaware State lineup right now. Well, you're talking about Ings. He led his high school team to 3 straight state titles, which was unheard of in Pennsylvania State high school history.
And what you see is a lot of these rosters have a lot of transfers. That's the state of college basketball now.
A lot of some 3 seconds down there somewhere, wasn't it?
Baucom should have just gone up with it. And see if he could have created a foul situation. Just put it on the glass and see if you can, like Moses Malone used to do, shoot it so he can get the rebound.
Yeah.
Again, you won't see Delaware State, unless necessary, come out of that 2-3 zone. They're like Jim Boeheim.
They live there.
Yeah,
huh?
Right.
Nice pass inside and followed by Isaiah Chambers, 6'7" junior out of Hillcrest Prep in Chesapeake, Virginia. Started his career at Arizona. Before he transferred in.
Power 5. That was a nice set that the Spartans ran. They screened the 2 top guys. The guard penetrated and threw the lob.
5-point lead now for Norfolk State. 9:10 to go. First half of play. Corey Perkins shot off the mark. The lefty didn't fall for him because it didn't hit the rim. So shot clock violation.
This freshman from Wilmington, Delaware, home state product. But that was a great set the last time by the Spartans, where they screened the 2 top guys. Point guard drove right down the center, through the lob. Excellent play out of the timeout by Coach Rob Jones.
And
Coach
that's Chris Ings. He did a great job of getting that ball inside that time.
Yes, sir.
Ings out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with the Newman Goretti High. He has the ball and has been bothered defensively by Corey Perkins. Perkins on him. Shot clock under 10. The fadeaway jumper, no good. Great play underneath the basket by Jalen Hawkins, realizing he couldn't control it, so he did the old playground stuff.
And that's one of the things we talked about, is that the Spartans need to dominate the boards, and they've been doing a good job of that so far. 11-6 advantage, and they're getting second shots, and that's something that I'm sure Coach Waterman needs to address. As good as this team is offensively, you can't give them 2 and 3 shots at the basket.
Isaiah Chambers checks out. Bankston rather checks back in for Norfolk State. Shot clock under 10 now. Jumper no good. Battle for the loose ball, and it's going to stay on Norfolk State's end.
Again, offensive rebounds. And we talked about
how important that is.
Yeah, we talked about the Spartans want to dominate the glass. They want to defend at a high level, and they want to play through. Play of the year, Joe Bryant.
Coming in, Norfolk State is averaging just like 39 rebounds a game compared to their opponents, which is averaging 34. Now, Norfolk's Delaware State, on the other hand, did a better job because of their height.
Right.
40 rebounds a game is what they averaged. Offensive board and a putback at All-Star game that'll take place the weekend of the Final Four down in New Orleans.
Yes, the first annual HBCU All-Star game, April the 3rd at Lakefront Arena and on the campus of the University of New Orleans. And I think Robert Jones will be the coach of the John McClendon team.
So you have two teams. One is called the John McClendon team, which represents basically the North, MEAC, and
SIAC.
And then the South with the SWAC and the CIAA is called the
Clarence Big House Games.
Big House Games.
Right.
That's great.
It's a great opportunity for these young men. Looking at the offensive rebounds, the Spartans have 7 offensive boards right now. That's a lot of second shot opportunities.
And a battle on the floor. And we get a possession on a held ball. Alternating possession arrow will be going toward Delaware State. And so we have substitutions. The Giant comes back into the lineup. Saddam, 7'3". He is back in.
And the Spartans are doing a good job of post-doubling Zach Kent when he gets the ball on the low block.
Now here's the key for Delaware State. Only 2 seconds left on the shot clock. So whatever happens has to happen quickly.
Good.
The clock should have been set down to 1. They're saying the clock should have moved, even though.
Yeah, they're checking it now. Pretty good interior defense by the Spartans. Ref says we're good. Play on.
The shot is up, and that's going to be a violation. Didn't hit anything.
And so far, the Spartans are doing an excellent job on Miles Carter. He's 1 for 7 tonight. And he's got to get going for the Hornets to have a realistic chance of winning this game.
Yeah, Miles Carter's the guy that, does it all for them. Grad student out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, preseason first team all-conference selection, and lived up to the honor. He made first team, and he led the conference in minutes played. He averaged 34 minutes a game, and he was second in the conference in scoring. Knocked away. Not a good pass underneath.
No, it wasn't. And he's 1 for 7 tonight. He's got to get his offensive game going.
And this is a takeaway. Yes. Close to a foul back there. Nothing called. 6:40 to go. Down the lane. And a push. And count it. Count the basket. Nice move inside. Miles Carter just talking about him getting going. He just got it going that time.
Nice little hesitation dribble that time. One hand layup. Kissed it right off the glass. As you see the replay, nice ball screen by the big fella. Cleared the lane for Carter, took advantage of it.
And he'll try to complete the three-point play.
The old-fashioned way.
21-18 our score. He can make it a two-point game, and he does. 21-19.
Yeah, he's shooting right at 76% from the free throw line.
Well, Matt Lee calls, I believe, a technical foul
on Montez Robinson, is what the PA announcer said. But there's no shots, huh? Maybe it wasn't a technical foul.
No, I don't know what it was. Anyway, they're still moving.
They're still playing.
Yeah, nobody shot anything. So
no harm, no foul.
Right. 2-point game, 6.5 to go. First half. Inside, Tate turns around. Good.
Nice ball movement that time by the Spartans. Found the weakness of that zone right in the mid-range area.
Fragala, fan checked on him. Let's see who they give that to. Is that Joe Bryant picks up the foul? There's Fragala. Joe Bryant picked up the foul.
That's his first one.
Bryant fouled out of 2 games this year. He fouled out a game against Grambling, and he fouled out against Bowling Green. Those are 2 games this year.
Great defense that time by Bankston. Came out of nowhere to reject the shot opportunity.
Every time I hear that, they came out of nowhere. I said, no, they didn't come out of nowhere. They were there. You just didn't see them. Almost a steal that time. Pull-up jumper, and it's off the back of the iron. John Stansbury just couldn't get it to fall that time. That would have been a big one.
Yep. Could have used that.
You remember, it was just a 2-point game as Tate turns around. The jumper, no good. Rebound now, here's Carter.
Tate got the same shot the last time. The second time was just a little long.
2-point game when they played up in Dover. Norfolk State won that one. Fragala, long jumper. Looked like a Steph Curry 3 that time.
What?
He didn't hold it in his hands too long.
Nice laser stroke that time by Fragala.
Somebody might come and take it away, right?
2 for 3 from the 3 so far.
And we have a 1-point game, 23-22. Tate again. Back outside. Here's Jenkins, no good. We got
Coach Waterman has to be pleased with the way this game is going. He's right in there, only down 1 point. Right at the 5-minute mark of the first half. Big offensive possession right now. A little horn set by the Hornets.
They led earlier in the game only by 1 point, 5-4. That's Del State. That's the only time they've led in the game. They could lead now. Nope, it's off the mark. And a little alley-oop, Bankston.
Don't be so mean, young fella. Took off from the MEAC line.
4.5 to go for Gala. Being guarded by Tate. Tate with the bigger size on Fragala. Fragala comes in at 6 feet. Tate's like 6'7". Here's a steal. Here's an easy layup that time for a kid by the name of Joshua Blunt.
Yeah.
2005 from Delaware State. He was one of the top MEAC tournament players of all times. You know, that's something to remember. Didn't you have a kid named Rodney Mack? No.
Rodney Mack. Yeah, Rodney Mack.
From South Carolina State when you were there. That's for Gala's shot, no good.
Rodney Mack led the country in field goal percentage.
Yeah, and he had the most rebounds in a tournament game. He had 25.
Yeah, he was. We rode him to the NCAA tournament back in 1989.
Yeah.
And Rodney Mack never said 5 words to me. I didn't know whether he liked me or not. he just rebounded for me.
That's all you. Hey, do your job, son. You don't have to talk.
We don't have to talk. You see now the Hornets have changed up the 2-3 zone to a 1-3-1 zone to try to keep somebody in that middle where the Spartans were getting that little mid-range jump shot. Nice little change by Coach Waterman. Now they're back to the 2-3 baseline out of bounds.
Still a 5-point game now. 27-22, 3:35 to go. Before the break, Tate with the ball gets it back out. Cross court. Along the baseline. Almost a steal. And a shot clock violation will go as Joe Bryant couldn't get the shot off before the clock expired.
Great defensive sequence that last time by the Hornets.
And you have to be impressed with what Delaware State is doing defensively.
Yes, no doubt, no doubt. They're utilizing several defensive zone looks.
Norfolk State has turned the ball over 7 times tonight, and that's an air ball that time.
Stansbury is having a rough start, only shooting 1 for 6 now.
And that was actually Martez Robinson.
Oh, that was Robinson, 3.
Took that shot, yeah.
Okay, the 3 looked like a 5 to me. No.
And he was saying that he touched it, but the referee said he didn't.
I don't think so.
Bryant down the lane. Woo! He really went into the land of the Giants, didn't he? I wouldn't want to have been in there that time.
Yeah.
Boy, Saddam, I mean, you've got to be brave to go in there with him.
He's long, but he's 7'3".
Yeah. From the corner, Bryant. Shot short. Tate. Strong rebound by Tate, and a foul is going to be whistled. And let's see if they're going to give it to Carter. Yep.
And that's inexcusable right now. Tate came from the weak side and just was more aggressive, wanted the ball more than the Hornets. And they have allowed now 8 offensive rebounds. And you can't play a great team like the Spartans and give them second and third opportunities. You've got, when you make them miss, you've got to secure the ball. The defensive sequence is not over until you have the ball.
Tate perfect at the line tonight, 3 of 3. He has 5 points for his team. And he misses the second. (28-22). 2:34 for Gala. No look pass. Here's the little short jumper. That missed everything that time. And that's unusual for Miles Carter.
He and Stansbury both are trying to find their offensive rhythm.
Down the lane. They're going to play a control foul. They're going to go the other way.
Gala stood in there and took the charge. Hawkins was a little out of control that last time. You see it here on the replay.
A little bit.
Right there. Nice defense that time. Gave up his body.
6-point lead now for the number 1 seeded team.
Tell you what, the next 2 minutes, Charlie, are critical for the Hornets. They've got to stay in striking distance.
Jalen Hawkins goes to the sideline right now. Ings is back in. A little reverse layup. And that falls down for Miles Carter from Palumbo High in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
A little razzle-dazzle that time. Kissed it right off the glass, and that's what we've been looking at. Here you see on the replay. Strong.
A little reverse layup that works. And his team is down by 4. Can cut it to 3 with the free throw. Miles Carter at the line tonight.
1 for 1.
And he has 8 points.
That was a great offensive possession that last time by the Hornets. And you see they're sticking now with the 1-3-1 zone. A little change up. The weakness of this defense are the wings and right down on the lower block area.
3-point ball game. Ings gets it inside. Tate turn around. He does that as well as anybody.
He does.
It just didn't fall that time for him.
Finds the opening. In New York City.
And there you see the big man, Chris Bankston, redshirt senior from Little Rock, Arkansas.
For the first time tonight, you're seeing the Hornets in man-to-man.
And they've been playing zone all evening. Here's Tate in his favorite spot. Bankston from the corner. Terrence Jones hits the 3.
Laser stroke that time by Jones. Nice inside-out basketball by the Spartans. Big basket.
Trenton, New Jersey is where Terrence Jones hails from. First year here at Norfolk State. Played 10 games. Didn't start any. Averaging about 7 minutes. And a foul will send Regala to the line. Don't count the basket.
First time we've seen the flex offense run by the Hornets. A different little offensive look where you get a baseline cutter on the strong side and a pin down on the weak side. You got the pin down, got Regala the basketball. He took it to the rim.
Tate picked up the foul. Regala at the line. Missed the front end of a 1-and-1.
That's a big miss that time.
19 fouls against Norfolk State. Under a minute to go before halftime. Down to 40 seconds. Ings will run it down. Tried to get it inside. Take away that time by DeMarco Buncombe. And now
coach is calling for one shot.
Yeah, just about less than a second difference between the game and the shot clock. So, again, a 4-point ball game, 31-27. Let's see whose hand it goes into. Holding it right now is Montez Robinson. Robinson turns, spins, pulls it up from the corner. The 3-1. So your big guys have got to come through.
Got to come through for you. It's starting in the 2-3 zone as we start the second half.
And there's a 3-ball to start the second half for Norfolk State.
Nice set that time by the Spartans to free up the player of the year in Joe Bryant. Laser stroke to get this half going to put the Spartans out to a 4-point lead, 34-30.
And we got a foul going the other way.
And Kent, you've got to come to a stop on the screen. And now Kent has his third foul, which is kind of a useless foul.
And that gives the ball back to the Spartans. They're going to come back down the floor with it. Missed everything but Bankston with the rebound. That's travel or double dribble. Either way, it didn't look good, and the officials caught it.
Another offensive rebound by the Spartans. As the Hornets did an excellent job that last time of breaking the pressure. The dribble weave action offensively.
Pull up jumper short. He walked. Boy, he got away with that one.
Got away with that one.
Zach Kent. A lot of stuff going on down there. Doesn't look good though, does it?
Tell you what, a little helter-skelter action that time. 2 or 3 calls could have been made.
I think that's why they didn't call anything. They didn't know what was going on. What the? So now, timeout.
Official timeout.
By.
Is there injury? Joe Bryant just went out of the game. He knocked over. He got hit or something. He's hurt.
Well, he's going back. He's out of the lineup right now.
Looks like he's grabbing his neck.
Not sure what happened, but he's on the bench right now. Hawkins guards the lane. Tate's in there. Ings. Shot clock under 10. Tried to feed it, and it went off of Saddam. 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Box set, baseline out of bounds for the Spartans.
Well, they held him, didn't they?
And that's a lack of defensive recognition by the Hornets. You pack the defense in. You don't never let them see it here on the they're showing a different replay right here. That's the foul that was called on Kent.
Right here down the other end.
Yeah. I thought they were going to show right here. You never let a guy get the ball inside. Just poor defensive recognition as Bankston does not take advantage from the free throw line.
Bankston with 4 points, 2 of 3, 2 of 4 at the line tonight for Bankston, but they get the ball back on the offensive side.
Another offensive rebound by the Spartans.
Here's Tate. Gets it inside. Short jumper, and that falls down for Jalen Hawkins.
Offensive rebound led directly to another basket. Secondary chance for the Spartans. Nice basket that time. A little floater by Jalen Hawkins.
Robert Jones' squad trying to get back to the championship game for the second straight year. They were there last year. Shot clock under 10. Kent down low, baseline, reverse layup, no good. Shot clock violation, it doesn't matter because Spartans come back with it. It never touched the rim.
That was excellent ball movement that last time on the offensive end as Carter tried to reverse layup, just couldn't make it, but good sharing of the basketball, good ball movement.
Saddam picks up the foul. That is his third.
Now you got Kent and Saddam, the two bigs, with 3 fouls. And even though neither one of them have been exceptional on the glass, that size is still a factor.
So Ings, with his first free throw attempt today, he has 3 points. And the first one is off the mark. Ings is a 63% free throw shooter. 2 points against Delaware State and 3 assists the first time they met. The second meeting was 6 points and 5 rebounds.
And the free throw line today has not been good to the Spartans, only shooting 45%.
Yeah, that's
from the
not
free
good.
throw line.
5 of, what is it?
11. 5 of 11.
5 of 11. Lefty. His second one is good.
Goes up to 50%, 6-12 now.
Now, the other thing you got to look at, we played 3 minutes here in the second half. Delaware State has not scored. And they're still stuck on 30.
Still stuck on 30, and that lead has gone from 1 point to 7.
It was 31-30 at the half. And a foul. 16:51 to go. We played over 3 minutes, as I said. And you look at it, Norfolk State is not setting the world on fire either. They've only put 6 points on the board.
And we talked about the Hornets being able to put 2 halves together to get a W. They play everybody close, but then they find a way to self-implode, like right there. That's just
Hawkins. Walk
almost a turnover.
Yeah. Almost got a double turnover.
Yeah,
double jeopardy.
Right, double jeopardy.
So it was a nice attempt by Carter to try to save the ball, saving it to that young man. That's Jalen Hawkins from Norfolk State, but he couldn't control it. As you look right here. Tate with the rebound. Hornets get it back. Little short jumper, just off the mark. Rebound, Tyrese Jenkins. In the corner, Bankston. He said, that's not my shot, so I'm not going to take it even though I'm wide open.
He knows
on the line.
His role is right around that basket.
As Smokey used to say, the guy said, I want to play point guard. He said, and he was 7 foot tall. He said, I don't care, you can play quarterback. He said, as long as you stay in the paint. As long as you stay in the paint. You can be, I call you anything you want to be.
Yes, the great legendary Dave Smokey Gaines. It's a big reason why Dick Vitale was successful at the University of Detroit.
From the corner, the free ball for DeMarco Barkham. First points of the second half for Delaware State.
They couldn't come.
Almost 4 minutes.
Right, couldn't come at a bigger moment for the Hornets. Now they back into the 1-3-1.
Nice feed. Too much. Getting it back. Miles Carter spins, gives it off. Jumper. Markham can't get it to fall this time. That'd have been a 3. That'd have been all the doctor ordered, right?
That would have been a big basket, a big momentum builder for the Hornets.
That's what the doctor ordered. Bryant's back in the lineup now for the Spartans of Norfolk State. Joe Bryant, Lake Taylor High, Norfolk, Virginia, Player of the Year in the MEAC. behind the back, and it's Bankston with the feed coming in from Hawkins.
Poetry in motion that time was Jalen Hawkins with the nice wraparound pass to Bankston, who finished at the rim with a strong dunk.
Now the lead is 6.
Hornets stay in striking distance but can't get control.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Gotta shoot it. And he makes it. Boy, he did that at halftime, and he wasn't much left. There wasn't no room for error, was it?
Tell you what, he's a clutch offensive player, is Miles Carter. Understood that it was not much time on the shot clock, but never got out of control.
As a moving pick.
And you called it, Mr. Ref.
Yep, Tate. There.
Been hanging right in here.
And like we said earlier, 9 conference games they were in. They could have very easily folded.
Now you see, for the first time tonight, the Spartans are playing some half-court zone.
They're going to call a player control or pick, moving pick on John Stansbury that time.
5, Stansbury is first, team 4.
And again, those are the kind of mistakes that a team that has only won 2 games make in clutch situations. You got a chance to get a shot. You don't get a shot because you get a moving screen.
Yeah, I mean, you can screen a person, but you got to stand still.
Just don't move.
That cement in your shoes, right? Back outside to Tate. Under 14 minutes to go. Tate takes the jumper off the front of the iron, and a foul is going to be whistled that'll send Tyrese Jenkins to the free throw line.
Off an offensive rebound. That's been the story. Now 13 offensive rebounds for the Spartans, and you get Tyrese Jenkins now at the free throw line, who this is his first time, but he's had a nice game. But that was just a great effort play. Again, if I'm Coach Waterman, I am really in my guys right now about getting on the glass.
Stansbury picks up the foul. That is his second. Meanwhile, at the free throw line, Tyrese Jenkins for the Spartans of Norfolk State out of Richmond, Virginia, sociology major. On his freshman year, he's a junior now. He was on the MEAC All-Rookie team. He averaged 4.5 points and 2 rebounds a game.
And now a lead goes to 6 when you had a chance to cut it to 2 because you had an ill-advised turnover and an offensive rebound. Those are the little things that make the difference in a very close game like this.
Also make a coach go crazy.
Oh, that's why I'm over here. Oh, nice pass.
And a finish by Bacum. Marco.
Nice little pocket pass by Fragala to Bacum.
Here's Bryant, player of the year. Almost lost it. From the corner. No good, back of the iron. Here come this Hornets of Delaware State. Back outside for Gala. For Gala. Stansbury, baseline.
Nice reverse layup that time by Stansbury. Show and go.
2-point ball game. 12:40 to go. They were down by 6 a moment ago. Trapped in the corner. Bryant takes the 3. It is short. And here come the Spartans on defense.
Finally one and done for the Delaware State Hornets. A chance to tie or take the lead on this possession.
Corey Perkins. And now they're going to run it. Coach Waterman doing a great job. And I was talking about earlier how teams have come into this tournament for years. Oh, what a block inside by Bankston.
That's big time block that time by Bankston. Because we thought for sure that was a layup. He came out of nowhere.
Yeah, again, they just didn't see it.
Yeah, right.
Timeout on the floor, 11:59 to go. In this one, it's a good one from the scope in Norfolk.
You see the replay right here.
And there's the block, the left-handed block A clean block by Bankston. (41-39). The Hornets finally make it close and keep it close. A 2-point ball game here at the Scope in Norfolk, along with Cy Alexander. I'm Charlie Neal, and it's been a good one. From the start, it was a 1-point game at the half. Norfolk State led by as many as 6 in the first half, and one lead by the Delaware State Hornets. They led by 1 early on in the contest, 5-4.
Great defensive game plan by the Hornets and Coach Waterman and his staff, switching up the 2 zones, the 1-3-1 look, the 2-3 look, and occasionally throwing in a little bit of man-to-man.
Under 12 to go, and a turnover.
Again, that's why you're 2-24. You got a chance for a layup and you get a walking call.
Yeah, that should not be happening. Stansbury knows better. He's a sophomore, and he's a good player, but he knows you got to put the ball on the floor before he takes off.
And you get a steal out of the defense. The defense works, and you get an inexcusable.
Very much a chance to tie this ball game. There's 11.5 to go. And a nice turnaround, and it's a 4-point play for the most part when you got Bankston.
It's definitely a 4-point play, Charlie. That's a good call because it could possibly be tied up. Now it's you back down 4.
Regala for 3. No good.
He was trying to get the flop call that time.
Yeah, that's what. And a dunk by Bankston. Don't be so mean, young fella.
Don't be so mean, young fella. The big-time throwdown by Chris Bankston. Now you see a little 2-3.
Nice, easy, and it falls down for Miles Carter.
And he's going to have to take over offensively for the Hornets.
15 points for him. He leads all scorers in this ball game right now. And Bryant, no shot. They're going to call it outside. And that one's going to be called against Regala. His first.
Big-time players make big-time plays. And right now, Joe Bryant wants to take over the Player of the Year for the Spartans. And Miles Carter, first-team All-MEAC for the Hornets.
Balcom goes out. Back in is Sodom. Whoa, we went right around Sodom. And that's why they brought him in, because of what Tate just did.
Right, exactly. Show and go that time by Tate. Big fella Sodom left his feet on the show. And Tate attacked the rim. Again, you're talking about a team in the Spartans that know how to win.
Now let's see. The big fella had the ball down low. Back out there for Gala. Back of the iron.
Had a good look that time. Just did not. Yeah,
I'm going to turn around and dunk that one.
Yeah, he was right there.
He had to get off his feet, did he? From the corner, no good. Regala with the rebound. Into the front court for the Hornets.
They got to let the big man eat sometimes.
Yes, indeed. He gets hungry.
Yeah. A little confusion within the offensive set right now for the Hornets.
Regala, no good. That's a travel. Are they going to call a foul?
They called a pushing on.
Could have been for Gala. There he is on the floor.
Yep.
Second foul against him. It should be shooting 1 and 1. That's a 17th foul.
Ill-advised shot, and you take, and then you know you took an ill-advised shot, then you come back and make an ill-advised foul, put the team in 1 and 1. It was just a 1-point game, a 2-point game, and now it's a 6-point game with a chance to go up 8 with Bankston at the free throw line, who has 2 for 4 tonight from the line, but just had 2 great offensive plays to give the Spartans the cushion right now offensively.
51% free throw shooter, 1-1, and that looks good. Looks better than 51%.
Yeah, right. They tell you what, looked like a 90% free throw shooter. Nice follow through, nice rhythm.
And you talk about Norfolk State, they've had some great players through here. We remember Carl O'Quinn, was drafted. David Pope was drafted. Ralph Talley.
Yes.
Some great names that came out of here. Lee Johnson.
Is O'Quinn still in the NBA? Is he still in the NBA?
I am not sure. Who's that?
Cal O'Quinn. Is he still in?
I think he was playing over in Europe.
Okay.
I think he went to Europe. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think he went to Europe. But again, he was the last MEAC player drafted. And that was the second round of the 2012 draft. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the MEAC. Here's Bankston. Gets it out to Bryant. Bryant goes in all the way. Tried to leave it for... Trying to look for a dunk.
Yep, he was going back to his buddy Bankston, the B&B
yeah,
team.
He was getting ready to put on a show,
right.
But it didn't happen. In and out that time for Miles Carter. Just won't fall for him. He's had the looks, and they've been right on the mark, but they just didn't fall through. 8-point ball game, 49-41. 8:15 to go. And one of the great former Norfolk State players, as we see Tate. What's Tate doing shooting a 3 from way out there?
Laser stroke that time. He wanted to show us that he has bigger range than from the free throw line.
But when you look at the stats for him on 3-pointers, he's shooting 41% from the season for the season.
Right,
so
right.
He can hit.
He can do it. He's got a nice form on his shot.
Yes, he does. 9-point game. Make that an 11-point game.
And over the back, but they've held him in check tonight. He only has 5 points. That's pure. Nice form.
Yeah. He led the conference in scoring, and he led the conference in free throw percentage. He came in averaging 16.8 points per game, which led the conference in that department.
That's why he was the player of the year. Well deserved.
And he makes them look easy.
No doubt.
And the lead is stretched to 13, 54-41.
A little soft 2-2-1.
Carter tried to baseline pass.
And again,
he just went into the hands of the defender.
Same story for the Hornets that it's been pretty much all year. They play about 35, 32 minutes, and then they're trying to figure out how to play those last 8. And against a team like Norfolk State, you cannot be figuring it out. You got to know what you're doing and execute. Poise and patience.
Down the lane. Knocked away. We're going to get a jump ball, and the possession arrow will favor Delaware State. They tied him up as he tried to go down the lane. And, of course, again, sometimes when you're the player of the year, you figure you can do anything.
Right.
And sometimes you just got to back it out.
Right.
It's not that important. That other 4 points.
Right.
Up by 13.
Right.
You got 4 other players on your team.
Right.
Not a one-man band.
Sometimes you think you deserve a call sometimes, too.
That's a easy layup. That's
right.
Automatic, too. Yeah, the Delaware State right now is playing with 18 fouls.
Got a serious uphill climb.
Looking for some help down there. Stansbury, nice move.
Nice cut off the ball that time by Stansbury. Saw the opening.
And a foul will be whistled to send Jalen Hawkins to the line. Hawkins tonight with 11 points. 3 players for Norfolk State in double figures. Hawkins with 11. Bankston with 12. And Tate with 10. Hawkins going to the free throw line for the first time.
And the Spartans have done it with a balanced offense tonight. And their leading scorer is not even in double figures right now. And that shows you the offensive balance that this team has. They're getting it done with a 14-point lead. And Bryant is really not even in double figures.
No, he isn't. He's not one of the three.
Right.
And he's the leading scorer of the conference.
He's the chief.
Yeah. Gala back into the lineup. Stansbury on the bench now for Delaware State. That should be a blocking foul.
Nice continuation that time by all-conference first-teamer Miles Carter from Philadelphia, PA. Here you see the replay as the block by Bankston.
So Carter trying to complete this three-point play. Bankston picked up the foul. And he does. And it's a 12-point lead.
You got to really, really now allow one shot, and you can't make ill-advised foul like that. I know that's an effort play on the part of Robinson, but when you realize you're not going to get the steal, back off. You don't continue.
Yeah. You're reaching around the man to try to get the ball that's between.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to get it now.
Bodies between you and the ball.
Your initial thought was good, but once you couldn't complete that, back away, play solid defense.
Hawkins again going to the line. He hadn't been there all evening, and now he's made
3 in a row.
Three straight trips to the charity stripe.
And he gets dapped to Fregala.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Misses the second one. .13 game, 6:17 to go. Wide open underneath is DeMarco Balcom. That was redshirt junior out of Washington, D.C.
Defensive breakdown that last time by the by the Spartans.
And the basket by Martez Robinson.
No quitting these Hornets.
Nine-point game. Here come the Hornets once again. Fregala pulls up short jumper off the glass. Is good.
Good timeout right now by Coach Rob Jones as the Hornets are making a nice mini run as this pressure is causing the Spartans to lose their composure just a little bit.
Well, you talk about turning the ball over and doing things that coaches don't enjoy seeing. Norfolk State has turned the ball over 18 times tonight. Only 14 for Delaware State. And coming into the game, Norfolk State did a good job of protecting the ball. They only averaged about 13 turnovers a game.
And they've had 4 in the last couple minutes to cut a double-digit lead, now down to 7 with 5:42 left. Great timeout by Rob Jones.
And still a lot of time left in this contest.
What's working against the Hornets right now is the foul situation.
Right.
You're in the 1-and-1, potentially soon going to be in the double bonus, and Norfolk State is not even close to 17 fouls yet.
Yeah, they only have 3.
Right.
Here in the second half, and that's an advantage for the Spartans right now. Well, let's see what kind of defense Delaware State puts up as they inbound this ball.
2-2-1 pressure. They'll try to trap at the midcourt area and use that as another defender. Now they drop him back, showing a little, what's this, a 1-3-1 zone. Spartans using a little shot clock.
Shot clock under 10 right now. Jumper off the back of the iron. And here's Carter with the rebound. Strong rebound by Miles Carter. He should pull up. He almost walked that time. Here's Fregala. Back out to Carter. 5:03 to go.
Big offensive possession right now.
They don't need a 3.
No, just need a good shot and a basket.
10 seconds on the shot clock now. Fregala down to 5. Gets the pick. Pulls up the jumper. Good!
Don't be so mean, young fella. What a laser stroke. Big time shot by Fregala.
59-55.
Cut the lead to 4. 4:28 left.
Shot clock at 10 for the Spartans right now. Almost a moving pick by Tate. He'll take the three, and it's good. We talked about his 40-some% from three-point range, and he answers, right?
He shot that with pure. What a big-time answer that time by Tate.
Under
3 for 4.
Under 4 minutes to go.
A 2 for 2, excuse me.
Carter in and out.
Oh, wow. Big miss that time for Miles Carter. Got a nice look. Ball went in and just didn't want to stay.
Has a foul, and it's on for Gala.
This evening is rebounding the ball on the defensive end, allowing the Spartans one shot and one shot only. That's the area that the zone has made them weak in.
Yeah, Ings hits a pair of free throws now and stretches the lead to 64-55.
And now you see the Spartans are showing some 1-2-2 zone.
In the corner, the deep ball off the front of the iron. Didn't fall for Robinson. And we're going to go the other way.
So is it a foul or just he knocked out of bounds? He just went out of bounds?
It's a foul.
Yep. So you got.
You're going to shoot. And that's on Robinson, the player who made the shot.
Right.
That was Martez Robinson. And we're going to be shooting some more shots. And this is the thing you talked about earlier, the fact that team fouls is going to be hurting this Delaware State team.
Now they end up the bonus plus now. They get two shots every time.
Not even 1 and 1 anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no pressure on these young men to step up to the line and
as a coach, and you have been there, you have a game like this and you look at the foul situation. What do you say? Because you know the other teams in the bonus, we only we didn't even get to the free throw line. There was only 3 fouls against the other team in the whole game.
Yeah, I tell you what, when the official is running down the side near you, you go, they fouled too.
I hope you don't get a technical.
You don't use it in 4-letter words. You say it in a real meek manner. They fouled too, sir. You say sir at the end.
I hear you. Out of respect, right? 6:05, 65-55, I'm trying to say.
Oh, big-time rebound by Miles Carter. What a great effort play that time.
And he's going to the line.
Missed the 3, ran in and saw he was missing it, got the offensive rebound to put himself in position to go to the line for 2 shots. As you see it right here, he missed. Knew that he was missing, followed his shot. That's something that you're taught in grade school, and got to the line because of the effort level. That lets you know why this young man is a first-team all-conference player for the Delaware State Hornets. But you missed 2 free throws, son.
Can't do that.
Can't do that.
Not at this juncture in the game. I mean, just think if it was a 2-point game.
No doubt. That's like a cow giving a bucket of milk. I mean, some milk and then knocking it over.
The lead is now 11. Missed.
Hawkins disgusted with himself right now. Just got his feet tangled up. Just lost a little body control.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
It's wet right there. I guess maybe it was.
Yeah, he'll be all right. Again, don't forget to stay with us for our nightcap, Coppin State and the Bison of Howard University.
And what March Madness is all about, Charlie, survive and advance. And whether it's an ugly game or a pretty game, as long as you survive. And that's what it appears as if the Spartans will do. And I used to like to be able to play on Wednesday. If you win, you get a day off,
right,
and don't have to play again until Friday.
Okay. You know, it's kind of interesting. You talk about, I was mentioning earlier, some of the players that played here at Norfolk State. We cannot talk about Norfolk State without mentioning Bobby Dandridge.
Well, no doubt about it. For the HBCU All-Star game, we name a player of a position, and our small forward award is the Bobby Dandridge small forward.
Well, that's great. I mean, he came out of Norfolk State, won the 1971 NBA championship. Oscar Robertson was on that team. Kareem
yep,
and they retired his jersey to Milwaukee Bucks. He had 2 jerseys retired. Number 12 here at Norfolk State and number 1 that he wore with the Milwaukee Bucks. And he's in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Shot clock violation. They're saying that the ball, did it hit the rim?
It hit the rim.
So maybe that's why they're maintaining possession.
Right. I don't know if we have the replay, but
Coach
here it is right here.
Coach Waterman is all the way down at the half court, and they're going to take a look at it.
Right on the side. It looks like it clipped the rim.
So they're going to come over and look at it to make sure that, see what happened. It hit the rim.
Yeah, clipped right on hit the backboard and then hit the rim.
So it is Norfolk State maintaining possession of the ball. You know, we were talking about so many different things happening with, the Coppin State's coming up next with the coach of Coppin State, a former NBA player. You happen to know who that is?
Juan Dixon.
Oh, yeah.
made a few jump shots at the University of Maryland.
Yeah, 1 or 2.
1 or 2. So this is the kind of stuff that happens to a 2-24 team. You dribble and just lose the ball. Right now it's helter-skelter.
Travel.
And right now, if you Rob Jones, what you're hoping more than anything, Charlie, is not to get out of here alive. Don't get anyone hurt trying to do something ill-advised.
9 the score. Norfolk State in control right now. And they have the ball. Trying to work some clock, under a minute to go now. Even if they don't take a shot. Whoa, punched away. And a nice easy steal by Carter and a putback. Maybe too little too late. 67-60.
Foul him.
They did, finally.
Foul the wrong guy. Bankston had the ball. They let him throw it to Bryant. That's the wrong person for sure. Great defensive play that time. Quick hands by Miles Carter.
Bryant at the free throw line with the Spartans. 7 points for him. Perfect at the line tonight. 3 for 3.
Oh, he's going to be perfect. That was a mental mistake.
That's why you said.
Yeah, that was
fouled the wrong guy.
He fouled the wrong guy. It was a mental mistake. If you're going to foul when Bankston had the ball, boom, he's the guy you got to foul. That's got to be addressed in your timeout. You don't foul a 92% free throw shooter. That's asking for 2 points with no time going off the clock.
Bryant came into the game with 122 free throw attempts. He'd only missed 10 all season long.
It doesn't get much better than that.
38 seconds to go. 69-61. But again, keep an eye on this Hornet team. Delaware State, Coach Waterman in his first year he's going to turn things around.
No doubt. He's an excellent coach, had a great career as a high school coach, and just stepped up to the Division I level at Delaware State, and got his team playing real well. Big time game plan tonight. Just probably going to come up a little short.
And not taking anything from away from Coach Jones. When you're defending anything, everybody comes after you. They bring their A game every single night.
No doubt about it.
So, I mean, Coach Jones has had to do a great job of making sure his players, his player of the year, his all-conference players know what's at stake.
And that you don't look at the 2-24 record and 0-14 record, because trust me, these young men, you know, can be swayed by those kind of things.
Sure, sure. 69-63. 6-point game with 38 seconds to go. They're going to shoot at the other end. Trying to use as much clock as possible. That's still only the 16 foul. Norfolk only has 16 fouls, and we, of course, a double bonus for Norfolk State shooting right now. As Kings at the line, he is 3 for 4 at the stripe, 6 points for him tonight.
Right now it's a game of free throws for the Spartans. Don't foul on defense, make your free throws on offense, and get out of here with a W, survive in advance.
Makes them both. 8-point game, 71-63. Under 35 seconds to go. 3 ball, good.
First annual HBCU All-Star game, April the 3rd in New Orleans at Lakefront Arena during the Final Four weekend.
And it'll be 12 players on each squad,
right.
24 between the MEAC, the SWAC, the SIAC, and the CIAA.
Exactly.
30 seconds to go. And this one, should these free throws go down for Tate, who's done a pretty good job hitting free throws tonight.
Yeah, 3 for 4 is Dana Tate. He has perfect form. Holds his follow through, gets his knees involved. Nice rotation, nice routine. Very comfortable looking free throw shooter.
Did not play last season, sat out, but has come on with a vengeance for this Spartan team this year. 9.4 points per game, missed the second free throw. Scored double figures in 10 games this year. Carter looking for some help. And it's stolen away. And climbing the table is Hawkins on the far side of the court.
Showed his athleticism. Jumped over the scorer's table.
Yeah. Miles Carter. Boy, they double teamed him, and he was in a lot of trouble there. Look at this. He should be a high jumper on the Coach Giles. That coach at Norfolk State will get him.
Yeah, he's gonna be. He doesn't know he's got a new gig for the spring.
Yeah, he could be an outdoor track and field team. In fact, speaking of that, Coach Giles' team came away victorious in the recent indoor track championship. They won one half of the championship. They won the men's. Howard University was the women's indoor champs this year.
Congrats to both Howard University women and the men at Norfolk State.
Coach Giles, and of course, you know, the coach at Howard University is a former All-American track star there. Coach Oliver.
Bill Moultrie was the track coach at Howard when I was there.
Don't call a timeout. Just throw it underneath. Missed it. Trying to show off. It's all over.